Well, thank you for not stampeding out of the room. That said, please don't leave. I promise to finish very early. And could you ask that question again, the last question when I'm done, please? I say that in front of my boss. All right. So my name is Doris Daou, and what I'd like to take you through is hopefully a quick but a good synopsis about all the lingo that sometimes you hear EPO professionals talk. I do apologize if I'm telling you information you already know, but if not, I hope this would be helpful. So why do we do EPO? Reason for doing EPO really vary. It starts from the ridiculous to the sublime. It could be anything from, just being on a TV show or to teach with students and teachers. But when you are part of a NASA family, we actually do follow guidelines, and we have a little bit more specific reasons why we do EPO. Obviously, an LSI being part of both the ESMD and SMD, I wanted to bring the reasons that we do EPO. It's because both of our directorates actually play an essential role in NASA strategic framework. And I'll explain what that means in the next slide. But that's also to inspire, engage, and educate and employ. All right, lingo again. It means that we need to share not only the excitement of NASA, but also the discoveries that we have with the public. And when I say we need, it's serious because NASA is one of the few agencies that has it in its mission. We need to enhance the quality of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. If you were yesterday at Emily Kobab Aman's talk, you would have heard that some of the actual books used in school has information that stopped since the 60s or the 70s. And also, obviously, to help create the next generation of people who are going to work and pay taxes. So when I said about the framework, this is a document that NASA headquarters created, and this is the synopsis of that document. I mentioned words in the prior slide talking about inspiration, engaging, educating, and employing. That's what it means. It's a bit of a dense slide. The document is on the website, and I will mention that website at the end. But basically, working with the public, starting with K-12, going to college, undergraduate, higher education, and postdoctoral work. But we do that following guiding principles and criteria. And those has obviously to do with the intrinsic merit of a program. It has to have a relevance to NASA. We have to focus on diversity. All this will be explained. And also we need to do some evaluation. Basically, we need to make sure that all the work we're doing is paying off one way or another. The continuity has to do with not the one hit and run EPO. So basically, giving one talk, never seeing people again, might not work as well as you'd hope it would. And also with the help of partnerships, which I will give an example in future slides. So, bit by bit, we talk about formal education. Quick examples. Anything that has to do with school standards, whether federal standards on national-wide or your state standards. Any kind of teacher resources. It could be curriculum, classroom activity. It could be workshops for educators, or even distance learning, meaning there's a lot of universities now that offer online courses, even online degrees. Even also offering research experiences for students who are not your personal graduate or undergraduate students. Informal education, what do we mean by this? Anything that has to do with museums, libraries, planetaria, science center, and it could be the shows that we offer, the exhibit, but also it could be workshops to help the docents in these venues. We also work with youth programs. I'm here giving just one example, the Scouts. The Planetary Science Division has been for a long time, have had a lot of programs working with both Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. This is only one example, not have time for a lot. But also, lately we've been seeing a lot of IMAX movies. Those also play a part in informal education. Any kind of webcasts, those also are included in informal education. Public outreach. Most of what's left. Basically, any public events that we go to, any educational TV programs, even cartoons, Discovery Channel, such things, radio programs that you have. There was a radio that's a little bit older. I grew up on Stardate. It's still going on. That's an example. Any kind of popular science magazine articles. Those also are part of education and public outreach. But we have seen and we've heard discussion over citizen science. Citizen science is for general public as well as teachers, as well as members of the informal education platform. This is really an overarching concept that could work with any of these elements. But also, what helps all these platforms? We have websites, image galleries. Lunar Image of the Day is one of them, for example, but also everything social media. That also helps your education and public outreach. At NLSI, we try to really have a rounded portfolio, meaning we try to get a program in every aspect of those, but we add a few more as well. Yesterday, Dr. Yvonne Pendleton talked about the things we do for science support. For example, all the conferences we do, the director seminars that we offer. Formal education, we have programs there. But we've also added the media affairs. A lot of your EPO professionals also work with the media to do press releases for you. All this will not work as well without partnerships, because there's not a lot of money growing on trees these days. This is just examples of partnerships we've been doing. The only one that I want to highlight is the International Observe the Moon Night. Brooke Shue gave a talk, she has posters, and please, please, really consider having an event this year. It's October 8th, and it's a Saturday, and it's a beautiful moon that night. All right, so what does SMD, what do ESMD and SMD offer as far as EPO programs? There are different flavors. Obviously, there are the EPO programs that go along with your missions. Those really are, most of them, managed and are part of the missions, and they are managed either by the program officer or the team leads. Both ESMD and SMD have also directorate managed programs. For SMD, there are two kinds. One of them is called EPOs, and I will explain it soon. And the other one we run here at the NLSI, it's the SMD Roses EPO Supplement Grants. Also will be explained. So, what is the SMD Mission EPO? As I said, it's tied to your missions and the team. For example, we've seen LRO and LADI. Those are only two examples. I know I'm missing on a lot of them, but there's not a lot of time. We also, the ESMD Mission EPO program is developed by an EPO lead, and that development is really a collaboration between the EPO lead and the PI and the program lead. It has multiple partners, it has multiple programs, and creates multiple products. Those are treated as a mission element, meaning that they need to be signed off. The EPO plan will need to be signed off by headquarters the same way as the mission plan. They have evaluation, and it's really a great place to support your EPO. For SMD, EPO missions, it's about the same, but it has at least the cost of 1% of the mission cost. I talked about the EPOs. These are large, relatively large EPO grants, and they are openly competed through INEO. They run between 100 and 150K a year, and they can be up to 4 years. This is a substantial amount of money. The targets are formal and informal audience, as well as a general public, and there is a call on an annual basis. The SMD Roses supplement are relatively smaller. And one of the elements of eligibility is you have to have a ROSA science grant. There are two throngs for this one. It's the $10,000 per year for an outreach program or a $15K a year for an education program. It is for every year of the science award. It could be collaborative, meaning if you have more than one science award or if you have more people working on the same award, you can get up to $50K a year. The duration, as I said, is as long as your grant, and it targets formal, informal, and outreach. All right, and that's my last one. I lied. That's my last one.
Your website. Right.
The website, yes, thank you.
Okay.
It's lunarscience.nasa.gov.
Any questions for Doris?
Why? Was my talk this good? Well, thank you.